Hello, this is Bishop William Koenig. Welcome to Catholic Forum, a weekly presentation of the Office of Communication of the Diocese of Wilmington. Now, here is your host, Bob Krebs.
Thanks, Bishop. Many of us have, at one time or another, faced a financial crisis. Job loss, medical emergency, or the death of a loved one are among the many reasons people can find themselves in a jam. Well, on this episode of Catholic Forum, after a news update from the Dialog, Stephanie Kelton will talk with the manager of Catholic Charities Basic Needs Program, Porsha Harvey. We'll learn how the Basic Needs Program, which dates back to the 1960s, helps families and individuals with financial stressors that put them in jeopardy of homelessness and supports low-income households who need help to pay for basic living expenses. Catholic Charities Basic Needs Program is the focus of this edition of Catholic Forum. I hope you find today's program informative and inspirational. Now on the news.
Thank you, Bob Krebs. With news for the Catholic community of Delaware, Maryland's Eastern Shore, and beyond, I am Joseph P. Owens, editor of the Dialog. Political discourse in the United States has devolved into people shouting at and not listening to each other, showing a need to promote respectful dialogue despite political differences, said the president of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops. In an interview with Vatican News, Archbishop Timothy P. Broglio of the U.S. Archdiocese for the Military Services said, "One thing that all of us can do is remember and to promote the dignity of the human person. Even if someone disagrees with me, he or she is still created in the image and likeness of God, and therefore has a dignity that I have to recognize and that I have to respect." He said in the interview posted online July 16th, "If people were more aware of their common-held dignity," he said, "then we might be able to discuss as rational human beings the problems and the disagreements that we have, and perhaps come to some solutions. But it's tragic that the political discourse in this country has reached a point where people just shout at each other and there's no space to listen to the other. And I think that's something that Pope Francis has urged us constantly to recognize, this basic human dignity, and to respect it in every way that we can," the Archbishop said. This tragic event is really a call to action to all of us to measure our discourse and to move forward in pathways of peace and reconciliation and for an honest assessment of whatever political differences there are and however we can work together to find solutions, he said. The Archbishop was responding to the recent assassination attempt of former U.S. President Donald Trump at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, July 13th. Gunfire killed one attendee, Corey Comparator, and injured three others, including Trump, whose right ear was grazed by a bullet. The suspected gunman was killed and his possible motives were under investigation. Former President Donald Trump on July 15th named Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, a Catholic, as his running mate on the Republican ticket in November. Trump was widely expected to name his running mate at the Republican National Convention, which began the same day. If elected, Vance would be just the second Catholic to serve as vice president in U.S. history. The first is President Joe Biden, who served vice president for 2 terms before his own election to the White House in 2020 made him the second Catholic to serve as U.S. president. A group of 49 teens and adults from Holy Cross Parish in Dover and St. Francis de Sales Parish in Salisbury, Maryland, attended Catholic Heart Work Camp in Knoxville, Tennessee, the last week in June. They worked at resident homes, tending lawns, painting, repairing, and building, as well as time in thrift stores, nursing homes, day camps, and food banks. Catholic Heart Work Camp is a mission trip for teens that allows them to share their faith through service. as well as giving them an opportunity to grow in their faith while having fun and meeting new people. And don't forget, for up-to-the-minute news, visit thedialog.org and pick up a copy of the Dialog newspaper in the Catholic churches in the Diocese of Wilmington. For Catholic Forum, I'm Joseph P. Owens, editor of the Dialog.
This is Catholic Forum. I'm Stephanie Kelton, the Fund Development and Public Relations Manager in the Diocese of Wilmington. My guest today is Porsha Harvey, the Senior Program Manager for Basic Needs. Welcome, Porsha.
Thanks for having me, Stephanie.
It's so nice to be here with you. Well, we have a lot to talk about with Basic Needs. I'd like to learn a little bit about your background and what inspired you to work in the Basic Needs program.
Sure. Well, like I said, thanks again for having me, Stephanie. I'm honored to be here. I'm actually honored to serve as the Senior Program Manager for the Basic Needs program. I have been in the helping field for as long as I can remember, so it starts back at childhood for me. I volunteered at Sunday Breakfast Mission, if you're familiar with the charities here in Wilmington, Delaware, different community centers throughout my childhood. That really instilled a passion in me for helping others. Then going on to college, I found an interest in, again, helping others. I have held many roles, worked with people with developmental disabilities, substance abuse, mental health, various injuries and illness. So always worked with people who were experiencing some type of challenges, whether it's with their health, their mental, and I have landed here in the Senior Program Manager role, providing prevention services to individuals who are at risk for homelessness. I have found that I absolutely love who we serve in the Basic Needs program. It is a tad different from the mental health services or the interventions for individuals with developmental disabilities, as I have helped in the past. But we are really providing what I like to say is a tangible result for our Basic Needs consumers. These individuals have just various unique challenges, and the services that we're providing them actually is providing tangible results. When I provided mental health treatment, you often intervene with symptoms and trying to promote the mental health of individuals, and that can be hard to see the impact. But with the Basic Needs program, we absolutely see the impact every day. So I'm passionate about helping others and helping them to improve their lives.
So Basic Needs impacts so much of a person's life. What are some of the services that you provide?
Sure. We provide a plethora of services in a Basic Needs program. So like the name says, Basic Needs, anything that you need to survive, first and foremost, and then thrive as an individual in your community and in today's economy. So our services change because the needs that we see in the community can change. The needs that individuals present to us can change. But currently, what services we provide, immediately, we can provide short-term relief for individuals who are experiencing a financial difficulty, a tough hardship, unexpected situation. We provide short-term relief by way of rental assistance, utility assistance. That is based off of grant funding. So we have generous funders that help us to be able to provide a short-term, immediate relief in the lives of those individuals. We also provide case management services in the Basic Needs program, and that is a more long-term, self-sufficient, self-sustainability that we promote with our clients, where we meet with them and support them on identifying the root cause of what has caused the hardship, or root causes, because it can sometimes be multi-layered.
Yes.
And we inform them of resources, services available, and different community partners that can provide them with support that will help them to overcome that barrier and hopefully alleviate the need to return to our door for that short-term financial assistance. In the program, we also offer food assistance. We have non-perishable items that are available in our office for individuals who may be facing food insecurity. We also have very basic necessities. So if individuals need hygiene products, clothing products, we also do have supplies of that in our office as well. So again,
Yes.
anything that you need to survive, we try to provide that. And then after we help you to get past whatever immediate crisis you're experiencing, we want to help you to thrive and focus on what you or your family and household can do to really make your quality of life better.
That's so important. And so with those who are facing a crisis of risk of homelessness or who are already homeless, let's talk a little bit about the homeless prevention program and the rapid rehousing program.
Sure. So those are the biggest components of the basic needs program. Our homeless prevention component really helps individuals that have unique challenges. I may meet with 10 clients and each of them have 10 different situations that have contributed to their risk of being homeless. Most of those individuals are unfortunately experiencing a new illness, new injury that may impact their ability to be able to earn their regular wages. They may have a death of a loved one, which was contributing to their monthly expenses, and they no longer have that income. They may have incurred an unexpected expense, car repair, hospital costs, healthcare, and things like that. So there is something that happened, some type of financial difficulty that set that family back. And we meet with them to be able to, number one, help them get on track. And number two, help them to identify how they can put a safety net in place, services in place, or resources in the community that can prevent them from being set back again. That is our homeless prevention aspect. So most of those individuals have a risk of homelessness. They're behind on rent. They're behind on utility. They're facing an eviction notice or a disconnection notice with their utility servicer. And we're looking to keep them in that house. We're looking to prevent them from getting disconnected and things like that. With our rapid rehousing program, that program is a bit different. Our rapid rehousing program actually helps those that are experiencing homelessness. So the individuals that we serve in that program, they are actually out on the street, living in their cars, living in parking lots, places that aren't meant for habitation. They're also maybe living in shelters. Actually, many of our rapid rehousing clients are serviced through our Casa San Francisco shelter down in Sussex County, Delaware. So those individuals are literally homeless. We provide support to those individuals. Within a few days of them being referred to our program, we meet with them, get an assessment and screening done to see all of the challenges that have contributed to their homelessness. And we work on them to overcome those challenges, but we also work on helping them to find housing. I love the rapid rehousing program because the approach that we take considers housing first. We know that maintaining your health is so hard when you don't have a stable place to call home. Things like taking medication, things like following doctor's orders and diet and things like that can just become so much more challenging when you don't have that stable foundation. So we work with our clients as soon as they come into the program to find placement, to get off of the street so that they can start focusing on some other things rather than just surviving. How am I going to take a shower next? Where am I going to find my next meal? Those type of things.
So when the basic needs are met, then they can start looking ahead. I know some of the other things you provide are financial coaching, job readiness, assistance with developing a household budget, and even income and interview and job readiness skills to help them to find a higher paying job.
Absolutely.
If needed.
Absolutely.
So we've helped through this program. We've helped single men, single women, families, veterans, victims of violence. So anyone is really eligible. What is the qualification for services?
Sure. Well, at Catholic Charities, I will tell you, we'll turn no one away. We're here to serve all of humankind. There are restrictions that are imposed by our grantors, our contractors, and things like that. But one of the golden things that I love about our dedicated case managers, if we don't have services available or if we're restricted by our contracts, we'll try to support you in any way we can, whether that would be case management, maybe providing the financial coaching and counseling and things like that that are less restrictive than some of our other services. We also will refer you out to services. If we don't have services available, we'll try to help you to identify those services in the community. But every activity has its own requirements. Typically, we target low-income households. So that is households that are earning between that 30 to 50% annual median income as set by the federal government, HUD.
Right.
We meet with those individuals. We'll look at their documents that they provide, things like their lease agreement, things like their utility bill or whatever it is that they may be requesting assistance for, to ensure it follows our contract guidelines, which always vary. At any given time, we may have 3 opportunities to help an individual that may have distinct requirements.
Right.
So we will try
and proof of income are required.
Yes, absolutely. And once the client provides the documentation, that is part of the screening process. So we'll kind of assess what documentation they provided to see what services that need best falls into.
Okay. And how can someone get services?
Sure. The first step to getting services is to absolutely contact our office. We're located in all 3 counties here in Delaware. We also have a sister program in Maryland for those individuals that might be listening from Maryland. But the first step is definitely to contact the office. Our receptionists are trained and they can make sure they navigate your call to the respective program. Oftentimes, if you call them and say, I need help with rent, I need help with utilities, they'll be able to forward you directly to the Basic Needs Program. If you can remember the program name, that's great. If you would like to call and say, hey, I'm interested in receiving services from the Basic Needs Program, that would definitely take you directly to our program. However, our receptionists are trained to screen and kind of tease out the details to help to navigate those calls to the respective programs. But definitely call our office. We have a website, ccwilm.org, where there is also locations. If you would like to visit in person, we're also available to see people if they want to walk in. And we also have emails that are listed on our website.
So we have offices in Wilmington, Dover, Georgetown in Delaware, and then in Princess Anne in Maryland. Those offices are open from 9 to 4, Monday through Friday. And our main office in Wilmington can be reached at 302-655-9624. So, Porsha, are there limits to how much can be provided, how much assistance, or how many times someone can come back to you for help?
Unfortunately, there are. One of the unique challenges that we see in our Basic Needs Program is supply often does not match the demand. There is a high demand for our services, and unfortunately, the benefits that we have are limited. So certain contracts, of course, have certain requirements. So, for example, we may have utility assistance available, and through that utility assistance fund, one may only be able to receive up to $400 per calendar year towards their utility bill. And once they've reached that threshold, unfortunately, we would not be able to provide any further benefits. However, again, we want to meet with the individual and try to identify any resources we have. So maybe we are at our maximum in the Basic Needs Program, but we work with different departments in Catholic Charities, and we have community partners where we may identify another avenue to get that need met. But each individual service does carry their own requirements. Typically, we try to stick to once a year for a financial assistance benefit because we are recognizing that Delaware's services are limited, and we want to try and help as many households as possible. So unfortunately, sometimes we do limit to once per year being served.
So in this post-COVID environment, I know we see a lot more people with needs, whether it's due to unemployment or, like you said, sometimes personal or family situations or illnesses, and the needs certainly seem to be outstripping the demand at this time. But as you mentioned, Catholic Charities does provide services to thousands of residents throughout Delaware and the Eastern Shore of Maryland without regard to religion or background. Anyone is welcome. Can you share a success story of an individual or family who's participated in the Basic Needs program?
Sure, absolutely. One of my favorite stories that I like to share is a story about an individual who came to services actually through one of our behavioral health programs. That's one of the golden things about Catholic Charities. We offer a wide array of services. So there may be times where a client comes in through another department and can benefit from other services, and we will absolutely make sure that the client sees the full benefit of being a Catholic Charities client, not necessarily a program-specific client. Now, this individual was dealing, unfortunately, with a terminal illness. He was a working individual, actually making good wages, able to take care of his monthly expenses, his rent, his utility bills, and things like that. Unfortunately, he was diagnosed with a terminal illness, and that terminal illness took him out of work. He was without insurance. He was without any type of support. He contacted Catholic Charities through his counselor. We were able to help him out with rental assistance while he went through a very intense health treatment. That helped him, number one, not only to stay somewhat healthy and be able to follow the doctor's orders, but it also alleviated stress. He was able to know, I have a home for the next couple of months, or due to the benefit that Catholic Charities provided, I don't have to worry about that for this month. And he was able to go on and receive his treatment, handle his other affairs without that burden.
Yeah, that's great. What are some of the challenges you've noticed? I would imagine that a lot of times when people are coming in for assistance, they're not only needing physical assistance like money or clothing or food, but they're probably feeling frustrated and maybe despairing that things are not getting better for them. I know like you mentioned, we can refer them to our behavioral health services on a sliding scale, but what other things have you noticed that are challenges for some of the clients coming in?
Absolutely, Stephanie. You raised a great point. Most times our clients aren't coming into our doors on their best days. Our counselors, our case managers, our staff, we are trained on trauma-informed approaches. So we are ready and prepared to receive individuals even at their most vulnerable state. Some of the other challenges that we often experience with our rapid rehousing program, a big barrier we are experiencing now is lack of housing and lack of affordable housing. We have individuals in that rapid rehousing program that are on fixed income, Social Security, disability, other income like that is limited. So the housing on the market right now, unfortunately, isn't affordable to them. They aren't able to meet the requirement of 3 times the rent
It's
monthly
so
amount.
It's difficult for anyone, much less someone who's in a financial crisis.
Absolutely. That's one of our biggest barriers in our rapid rehousing program. Some of the other barriers we experience, of course, clients post-pandemic are still finding themselves with large balances, out of work for several months, and just unfortunately have not been able to ever catch up or get back on top of that water and start swimming again. With our funds and our resources being limited, sometimes that does impact our ability to apply that direct assistance when there are such large balances. Typically with those clients, we do try to work with them to identify multiple resources that may be able to join in the effort to support them. But that is a challenge that we incur regularly.
Okay. To support your operations, our listeners can go to ccwilm.org to make a donation and find out more information about the Basic Needs program. We also accept financial donations by check to our offices, and talk a little bit about the food donations and clothing donations that you accept.
Thank you. Sure. Right now in Wilmington, Delaware, our Wilmington office, which is located at 2601 West 4th Street, and also our Georgetown office, which that's not my home office. I can't spit that address off, but I'm sure we'll be able to plug it in, or you can visit our website if you would like that specific address. Both of those locations are accepting donations at this time. Gently used new clothing items are accepted. Non-perishable canned goods, food items are accepted. We can also accept personal hygiene items. If you have toiletries that you would like to donate, toilet paper, body wash, toothpaste, toothbrush, those type of very basic necessities
Hygiene.
are accepted. Yes.
And one thing we didn't talk about, Porsha, was the access to the diaper bank for some of our clients. We maintain a diaper bank at Bayard House, and that's
Yes.
open to the public if they qualify.
Yes, yes. So you hit it on the nose, Stephanie. We have so many services available in the Catholic Charities buildings throughout the state. We have a diaper bank that's a resource for parents and children. That information is on our website as well. There is a packet that is directly on our website for individuals who are in need of diapers and formula, actually. When they have a supply
Yes.
of formula, they provide that to mothers and children as well. That information is on our website. Basic needs specifically, we have very exciting components being introduced as we speak. There is a diabetes prevention program that we are providing throughout the state of Delaware, and this is an exciting program because it's helping to reduce or prevent the development of type 2 diabetes. We're excited to see what this program can do with the health of the Delaware residents that we serve. So we're looking at implementing different things that will help promote a healthy lifestyle with those individuals who are at risk and hopefully getting some healthy outcomes in return. That is one of the programs that we're very excited on. We also have many programs just in the Catholic Charities agency portal, if you will. Our Energy Assistance Program is a federal program that runs year-round, provides a winter benefit and even a cooling benefit in the summer. We have our Behavioral Health Program, as you mentioned, that provides mental health and counseling services to individuals and families. We have Immigration Services, which helps individuals secure whatever necessary documentation they need to help further them in their, process for citizenship and other immigration issues. We have our Bayard House Women and Children's Home. Oh,
Yes,
goodness.
we have many programs.
Many
at least 9
programs.
programs of
Absolutely.
help people in the area. So after someone receives assistance, the case managers keep in touch with them generally 30, 60, 90, 120-day periods to stay in their lives and help them regain self-sufficiency. What happens if that doesn't work out?
Well, we definitely reach out to clients and we want to get, number one, an idea of how they were impacted from our services. So what was the benefit of our financial assistance, our case management, our budgeting? Were you able to maintain housing? Are you still in your housing? Did we do what we set out to do,
Right.
which was keep you in the home? We also follow up with those clients on their satisfaction of the way they were treated, the satisfaction of service that they've received in our buildings. Another way we follow up with clients is to meet with them regularly for the case management piece. So not all clients are interested, but if clients are interested, we can continue to support them for months, years. It really depends on the individual. It depends on their need and their interest in the case management services being ongoing. If they're not interested right now, it's not a required part of our services. So that is at their leisure and at their free will if they wish or do not wish to participate in case management and ongoing support.
So another question, just off the top of my head, how do you find this impacts children? When you have families coming in with children, let's say children who are old enough to understand a little bit about what's going on.
Sure.
How does that affect the children?
Sure. I find that when parents are under stress, often the rest of the individuals in their household are under stress or are impacted by that stress in some way.
Yes.
I find so many times families are in my office meeting with me to receive some type of services or assistance, and the kids take on that burden of not being able to take care of the monthly expenses or being worried about what will happen next. That makes it very hard for the children to just focus on their daily
Their own
activities
development
and their
well-being.
own development. Absolutely. It impacts their learning. It impacts their mental health and their well-being. It impacts their physical well-being too. If parents can't afford our rent, our utilities, or are constantly struggling to be able to provide that monthly expense, other things in the household often lack, such as hygiene, such as healthcare and medical needs. And we find that it actually has some negative effects on the children in the household. They aren't eating as healthy as we encourage with the American diet. They aren't able to follow up on the other necessary things of life because
their own
they're in
growth and
survival.
development. Right. So if you're out there and you're listening and this sounds like a program that could help you, we really encourage you to reach out and call your local Catholic Charities office or call our main number at 302-655-9624 to get the ball rolling. We can help. There are people here who are willing to help you. We have resources that can help you and your family. And if you're a single individual, we can help you as well. Some of the agencies that we partner with for funding include Delaware State Housing Authority, Citizens Bank, the Laffey McHugh Foundation, Newcastle County, Fund for Women at the Delaware Community Foundation, Bank of America, and DuPont. And the Knights of Columbus have been resolute partners with us by organizing coat drives, delivering food donations, making financial contributions, and supporting at all of our events. Are there any costs to the client, Porsha?
Our program is at no cost to the client. Everything that we offer in the Basic Needs program is completely free.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about that we didn't cover?
I believe we covered it, but just to reiterate, anyone can find themselves in a tough spot. We find that our clients come from all backgrounds, all races, all ethnicities, all income levels even. And we know that anybody can find themselves with an unexpected cost, an unexpected tragedy that could ultimately lead them to having the risk that the clients that come into our door see every day. We treat everyone with respect. We treat everyone with dignity, and everything that is rehearsed, talked about, conversed with our case managers is completely confidential. So you can come into our office and be assured that the information that is discussed in our office will stay between us and not be shared, so that you can leave with dignity that you came with.
Yes. Okay, so if you're out there and you want some help, feel free to call us. There's no shame in coming to get help. And if you're out there and you're interested in making a donation, please go to our website at ccwilm.org and click on programs. Porsha, it's been so nice talking with you. Porsha Harvey, our Senior Program Manager for Basic Needs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
And you can see a video of Stephanie's interview with Porsha Harvey on our YouTube channel. Search Diocese of Wilmington on YouTube. On the next Catholic Forum, Dialog special correspondent Abby Thibodeau will be here to report on her experiences at the National Eucharistic Congress in Indianapolis. To hear this and other past programs, visit cdow.org/Catholic Forum or search us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Amazon Music Podcasts. Also, don't forget to like or follow us at facebook.com/Catholic Forum. Thanks so much for joining us, and please join us again next week for another edition of Catholic Forum.
This is Bishop William Koenig of the Diocese of Wilmington. Thank you for listening to this edition of Catholic Forum. As we conclude today's program, please join me in prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for our sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and will be forever. Amen. And may Almighty God bless you, the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.